If questioning your career path feels big, that's because it is big. We're talking income, relationships, contribution, familiarity, all on the line. I'm Laura Sims. I help people choose and start the right meaningful career, even if they've been trying to figure it out for years. I've worked with hundreds of clients from over a dozen countries for over a dozen years, and before that, I went through my own tricky, painful career change. In this video, I want to imagine we're grabbing a cup of tea somewhere cozy so that I can help calm some of your fears and help you avoid some costly career change mistakes. So grab a cup, let's dive in. God, that is hot. So when we're sitting down with our cups, you might say, I'd love to change careers, but I'm afraid. If questioning your career path is bringing up fear, I want to validate that that's normal and it's appropriate to be afraid of this kind of change. When I went through my career change, it was not just a question of what will I do, but also who will I be. Calling your work into question, it also calls into question your sense of self. If you are asking yourself things like, is this what I really want? Is this what's best for me? Is this as good as it gets? Those questions do not go away. In my experience, they only get louder if you don't address them. The hardest place to be is when you know where you are is not right, but you don't yet know what's next. And as soon as you know what's next, it gets a lot easier. You might say, I feel like I'm the only one who hasn't figured this out. And I'd say, you are not. You are not alone. Even if people in your bubble seem to have it all figured out, probably they don't. But beyond that, millions of people don't have this figured out. And my clients are sometimes the people who, within their bubble, within their community, they look like they have it all figured out from the outside, but inside they are questioning and they are struggling. So whether you look like you're flailing or you look like you have it all together, you are not alone. You might say, why haven't I figured this out by now? What's wrong with me? And I'd say, let's take a sip. This is how to choose the right career. This is not cultural knowledge that we have. No one teaches you how to do this well. In fact, you've probably gotten conflicting messages about how to choose the right work since you were a child. You were told to just be practical, just do something that is reliable and is gonna make money. Go where the money is. Then you're told to follow your passion, do what you love, and the money will come. Well, where does that leave you? Of course you're tangled up. Of course you don't know how to figure this out. There is no class in this. There is no great oral tradition in this. There is no cultural knowledge about this. You might say, but it's too late for me to change careers. To which I'd say, absolutely not. I've worked with clients age 28 to 65. It is never too late. You're not too old. It's not too late to learn new things. It's not too late to make a change. It's not too late. You'd say, but I've already spent so much money and time on this career. Yeah, I did all that too. Trust me, it's not wasted, the time and money that you've already spent on the career that you're in, but it really would be a waste to keep doing something that's not right for you anymore, if it ever was in the first place. You might say, well, I just feel like a failure. To which I'd have to say, you have to start from a place of forgiveness, really using this as a turning point. You've learned what hasn't worked. That's a valuable starting point. I don't work with clients who have less than 5 years of work experience because there is some necessary, visceral, real world learning of what doesn't work that is so helpful. It's not about chalking this up to a failure. It's about using this as a start, using what you've already done as learning on what does work for you, what doesn't work for you, and using this as a turning point forward. Fine, you say, but I don't want to start from scratch. Great, you won't. You're an adult with life and work experience. You are not a blank slate. There is no starting from scratch. You're going to use what you know in new ways, and yep, you might need to fill in some gaps with skills and education, but that is not the same thing as starting from scratch, starting from the bottom, starting at zero. I know you may be worried about thinking it's selfish to want to do meaningful work. What about my family? To which I'll say, is it selfish to want to make a difference and be well compensated for it? Is it selfish to want to make more money so your family can have more opportunities and more ease? Is it selfish to ask your family to make adjustments for the sake of your mental, physical, and financial health? We're not talking about leaving your family behind to suffer while you tra-la-la off in dreamland. We're talking about using your work as a tool to elevate the circumstances and opportunities for the whole family. In my family, when I chose to step into my meaningful work, there were lots of conversations. There were initial investments in myself. There have been ongoing investments in myself and in my business. But here are some of the rewards that me and the family have experienced. When I had a newborn, I was able to take a decent maternity leave because I chose it and I funded it. And then when I had a little baby, I was able to keep flexible hours so that I could balance parenting and work. And eventually, my work allowed my husband to quit his toxic job, work if he chose to, but mostly become a stay-at-home dad. Because my work is location independent, we were able to move wherever we wanted, and we chose somewhere closer to family. Yep, my work can be tiring, but I genuinely enjoy it. And most days, at the end of the day, I have the energy, the patience, the presence, the interest in spending time with my kiddo after work. It has worked out well for all of us. And the more rewarding my work gets, the more freedom, the more flexibility, the more options it opens up for my entire family. That's just my family. My work also allows me to make a much bigger difference than in previous jobs. So the impact of the work I'm doing is more significant out in the world outside of my family. And in all of that, there's nothing selfish about it. You can choose a meaningful career that is good for you, for your family, for your team, for your clients, and for yourself. Just because you enjoy it doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it selfish. It can really be win-win-win across the board. Okay, you say, I get it. I want to do meaningful work, but I'm not sure what's right for me. And that's really where the real work is. I can help with that. Take your cup of tea over to my free training. I'm going to share the exact career change strategy that is working for my clients. I want you to stay safe, practical, focused, and supported in your career choice, in your career change. I will see you in the free training. Guarantee you're going to learn something new about how to choose the meaningful work that's right for you.